Have you ever felt like the one thing you were running from is the only thing calling you back? I hadn't set foot in Pineview in 10 years. 10 whole years since I packed my knives and left the family restaurant and everything it stood for behind. Now, here I was, suitcase in one hand and a sinking heart in the other, staring at the peeling paint on the Miller's Diner sign. "You're finally here," said my sister Lily, bursting through the front door in a whirlwind of snow and cold air. Her eyes were tired, her apron stained with something that smelled like burnt gravy, and not a moment too soon. The diner, once a lively beacon in our little town, looked lifeless. The Christmas lights drooped along the windows, and only a couple of tables were occupied. The hum of chatter that used to define this place was gone, replaced by a silence that felt more like defeat. "What happened here?" I asked, stepping inside. "Life," Lily replied with a shrug, but her voice cracked. "Mom and Dad did their best after you left. But after Dad passed," she trailed off, wiping her hands on her apron. "I've been trying to keep it going, but the bills keep piling up. We're barely hanging on." I wanted to run. I wanted to tell her I didn't owe this town or this diner anything, but guilt and nostalgia held me in place. "All right," I said finally. "What do you need?" Her relief was immediate. "A miracle. Christmas Eve is in a week, and we're supposed to host the town's holiday feast. Except we can't afford the food, the place needs repairs, and half the town is still mad at us for closing early on Thanksgiving." I rolled my eyes. Still the same old Pineview. But it wasn't just the town holding grudges. I spotted Sarah Harper sitting in the corner booth, her arms crossed, her piercing glare boring into me. She had been my best friend once, maybe more than that. I left her behind too. Later that night, I stood in the empty kitchen, staring at the worn countertops and rusty stove. Memories of laughter, flower fights, and late-night recipe experiments flooded my mind. My father's voice echoed, "Cooking isn't just about the food, Emma. It's about feeding people's hearts." Somewhere along the way, I had forgotten that. The next morning, dove in. I spent hours cleaning the kitchen, fixing what I could, and reaching out to old friends for help. Some, like Sarah, slammed doors in my face. Others agreed to lend a hand, mostly out of pity. I turned the menu upside down, planning a feast that would remind everyone why Miller's Diner had been the heart of Pineview. Local farmers donated what they could: fresh vegetables, honey, and even a side of ham. I pulled out my father's old recipes and added a few of my own twists. The real challenge was Sarah. I found her one snowy evening outside her shop, packing boxes of Christmas ornaments. "What do you want, Emma?" she asked, not looking up. "I need your help," I admitted. "I know I messed up, leaving without saying goodbye. 10 years. She cut in, her voice cold. "You left for 10 years and now you waltz back, expecting everyone to forget?" "I don't expect anything," I said. "But this diner, this town, it means something to me. Even if it took me too long to realize it." "Please, Sarah," she sighed, then nodded. "All right, but only because this town deserves a good Christmas." On Christmas Eve, the diner was unrecognizable. The smell of roasted turkey and spiced cider filled the air. The tables were covered in red and green linens, candles flickering in the dim light. The townspeople trickled in, their skepticism melting as they saw the spread of food. The night was magic. Laughter echoed through the diner, the clink of glasses and plates forming a symphony of joy. I moved through the kitchen like I was born to be there, my heart full for the first time in years. Sarah caught my eye as she served pie to a group of kids. She smiled, and it wasn't just polite. By the end of the night, Lily hugged me, tears streaming down her face. "You saved us, Emma." "No," I said, looking around at the smiling faces. "We saved each other." That Christmas, I realized I hadn't just come back to save a diner. I had come back to save myself. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share this video with your friends. Thanks for watching.